repeating myself because we are recording this for people who registered and for some reason can't show up here. I want to make sure that you know that I am Andrew Warner, your host. I'm the founder of Bot Academy. And the reason I created Bot Academy was I invested in a couple of companies that help me reach help me reach people via chat. And I said, hey, this is really exciting stuff. Yeah, I'm talking to my wife more via text. She and I use iMessage. I talked to my brother at the time using Slack almost exclusively. I talked to the rest of the team using some kind of chat app. Why don't I use that to talk to our customers? And I started doing it, and I got excited about it. And I started getting excited about the companies I was investing in. And then I started teaching it. And then I realized, well, business would pay me to learn how to do it, or they would pay me to implement it, but they never followed through. And I said, what's wrong? Do they not like chat? And I check in with them, and they did like chat. It turns out what happened was they didn't want to set it up for themselves. I remember talking to one guy who just had fired somebody critical to his business. He had no time to deal with chat. Another person whose Facebook ads weren't working very well, because the thing about Facebook ads is they work well until they stop. And so he was spending time trying to figure that out. These guys didn't have time to figure out chat and how to use what I was showing them or use what I set up for them. And they just wanted to hire somebody. So I said, okay, we're going to shift Bot Academy. I'm going to create this place where I was just teaching people how to create chatbots. I'm going to shift it to helping them how to create chatbots and then how to get clients who will pay them to build chatbots for them. And then boom, Bot Academy took off. Boom. People were getting paid to create chatbots for their clients. And what I realized was we now have a big enough audience that this is a reason for software makers to come here and to speak to our audience. And I said, okay, if somebody's running an agency, what do they need? And one of the things that I realized that you really can get a lot of value out of, one of the things that is becoming critical for many of our graduates is good proposal software, a good way to show your clients, to show your prospects, this is what we're about, and this is why you should sign up with us. And so I actually will be honest with you, this is a topic that I know is valuable, and I don't know enough about it. I don't know how people can send me, how businesses can send me these proposals that make me think, oh yeah, it's a no-brainer. Yes, let's say yes. Versus I'm thinking this one person who I've actually he was charging me $9,000 for something. And I thought, well, maybe not. And then he just came back in with a couple of $1,000s. And I still have been feeling guilty for not responding, even though he emailed me on Thursday. I wonder if it's just because he's firing off email at me. And it's just like, if it was like a proposal, I think I'd take it more seriously. And I know exactly what I was getting for the couple of $1,000s. Anyway, so this is something I want to know. This is something I know has worked for our clients. Yeah, Brian's already saying yes. Brian, you are here from ClientPoint. Let's talk about what ClientPoint, when you were saying, yeah, what resonates with you? And then we'll talk about how your software can do this for people.
So I like to talk a lot about empathy throughout the sales cycle. And I was on here earlier today, and I feel like though your audience is very technical, empathy and understanding of human beings is a really big part of Bot Academy. And what you were explaining with that email is something I like to call meeting remorse. And you can look at your calendar throughout the day, and if it's with a salesperson, you can sit there and feel meeting remorse. You're like, oh, I agreed to this last week, and you don't even remember what we talked about anymore a week ago because I'm making a podcast, I'm going through 1 million pieces of content a day, 1 million emails, and the energy is totally dissipated from our conversation. And now I feel meeting remorse. I don't even want to talk or respond to the salesperson, especially in a transactional way like email. So I get exactly what you're saying. So I can nerd completely out on this. Like you're tapping into my passions right now. So we will talk about software too. And I'll share how you can use ClientPoint not just at the proposal stage, but throughout the sales cycle. So you can eliminate things like meeting remorse. You can eliminate stranger danger on the very first sales appointment. You can make sure
meaning us feeling nervous about talking to a stranger.
No, the prospects. Prospects are dealing with.
Feel nervous about dealing with me.
Yeah. Yep.
God,
so
okay.
Blind date. I just created this video content in downtown San Diego and Gaslamp about blind dating and sales.
Okay.
And people don't do blind dates anymore, right? It's all apps. It's blind dates weird. And yet we're asking people to go on a blind date with our sales team. And they have no idea who they're about to go meet. So you want to have a video message from a salesperson. They want to feel comfortable. Client portal. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments. You want people to feel comfortable with the salesperson before they ever met. Otherwise, they're going to have meeting resistance, even meeting with that salesperson for the first time. So what the bots, I think, are doing a great job of, and I'm very naive to your world, is warming the leads up and converting them into really great conversations to sales teams where sales teams are appropriate. Sometimes the bots are taking them all the way through to a sale. So what I'm talking about is after the bot gets somebody to the point that they're ready to talk to a salesperson, let's make sure that those leads actually do convert into an actual meeting where they're showing up. And
Okay.
especially if you have an agency. If you have an agency, you're finding that you might get leads for your clients, but the leads aren't showing up, and that's because they're not leveraging technology properly.
So
And then
you're
we're going
saying,
to get
let me see if I understand this. We're going to be showing people how. Assume that someone who's in the audience, let's talk about Ron here and Laura and George as examples. Imagine if the three of them decided they had an agency. What they were going to do was do services for clients and get paid for it.
right.
One of the first things that we would tell them at Bot Academy to do is to reach out to people and say, can I do a demo for you on this thing and show you how it can help your business? Not sales, just a demo. You're saying that this will also help them to get the demo, get the person to actually to say, yes, I will do a Zoom screen share with you or whatever it is that they're using. Yes, I will listen. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, essentially, what is that? That's a proposal. You're proposing to do a demo for someone.
Okay. I didn't think of it as a proposal. Okay. Because our sales process, tell me if this is wrong or if you've seen a different way. Our sales process is you find a prospect, someone who could use your service. You reach out to them, you say something nice that's not a salesy, not trying to get them on a demo, not trying to do anything. And then you follow up and say, I can do this demo and show you how this new thing that we do can help your business specifically, and let them book with you. And then if they book, you do a demo, and on the demo, you close the sale. What part of that have you found doesn't work? And then what part of that can you help us out with?
I want to be mindful of how I answer because I don't want to say everything, right? That's just the most salesy thing. Oh, we can help you with all of it. But I'll explain to you the different places we can help.
Okay.
I know landing the first meeting isn't like a formal business proposal, but it is a proposal in some capacity. I'm proposing that we do a meeting together. So ClientPoint, if you leverage it properly, can help you convert that first outreach into a meeting at a higher conversion rate.
Boom. Good. Great.
Yeah. And then what I've talked about a moment ago was something called meeting remorse. And sometimes the first meeting goes really well. And sometimes the better the meeting goes on the first meeting, the more likely they are to not show up to the second meeting, which is so weird.
Okay.
It's a bunch of neuroscience stuff we can get into. But I don't know if anyone has ever found that where if somebody gets almost too excited on the first meeting, they're less likely sometimes to show up to the second. You're like, what the heck happened? So ClientPoint can help you do. Yes, Ron's saying right. Yeah. I can get into that stuff, but I don't want to nerd out too much. So ClientPoint can help you eliminate that resistance to the next meeting, eliminate the meeting remorse. And I'll share with you how that works. But I think first, what ClientPoint was originally built for is to help companies create really great storytelling proposals. And that's what we'll talk about first. And then I'll share with you in the software how to use it at different parts of the sales process.
Okay, great. Good. Because you know what? I see a lot of entrepreneurs, they don't know how to code. They don't know how to do anything. They start off by selling their time and then they build up. We use Basecamp for project management. Famously, the company behind it used to do design services for clients. That's how they made their money. That's how they understood the problem. Then they created software. I also see a lot of companies now more and more who just stay with consulting. My friend Neil Patel ran several software companies and he decided, you know what? I'm giving most of them away. I don't care. I'm actually making tons of money now with this agency and I'm loving how it grows. I'm sticking with just the agency. So this agency is a great start for people who have no money, but it's also becoming a great long-term thing to build as a business because it's harder for competitors to come in and create an agency versus copying software is a lot easier. So I get it. The problem is nobody teaches you how to do this. There aren't a lot. I could find tons of landing page software and how to sell something for $20 and get people to buy using a web page. I don't see anyone talking about how do I get a stranger to give me not $20, but thousands of dollars. And we're already intimidated charging thousands of dollars. We have to then talk to a stranger about how to do it. The stranger has to talk to us where we're strange to them about how to do it. Every part of this process is is opaque, intimidating, and we're going to learn it here. So let's get into it. Do you want to start sharing your screen? Walk me through it. I want to get like right down into the substance here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking. Is it presentation option? Share my screen. Perfect.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Go share.
Ron, if you thought vegetarian means like calm, like almost going to fall off your feet, you'd be amazed. Look at this energy. I got to hold myself back. And guys, please do tell me if I'm a little too like emotionally and charged up about this while you're doing that. I'll tell you why I'm emotionally charged up. When you start a company, totally in you have a sense that this life is in your power. I took my freaking 5-year-old and my 2-year-old to sell lemonade. They would have to basically ask us for money, ask us for toys. We're always in control. They sold some lemonade. They felt a sense of control when they saw that they made $17.25. They could buy any candy they want, any toy they want. They now understood that they could just stand in the street and sell lemonade. That power goes to their head. When you can sell something and build a business, you feel a sense of invincibility. I don't care if you're Andrew, Ron, Vernon, Tony, anyone who's watching us, or a freaking 2.5-year-old. That goes into you, but you got to do it better today than you did yesterday, and you just keep improving. And we're going to find out today how we're going to get better. Show me. Let's do it.
Love it. Okay, cool. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, totally. I'm with you.
All right, I just want to go back. Okay, cool. All right, excellent. So when you think about some of the resistance we have towards selling, a lot of it, the procrastination we feel is sometimes we don't feel like we have a professional enough presentation. A lot of times, even salespeople, when it gets down to the proposal, they've had a lot of fun in the sales process and they feel really great, and then they're a little embarrassed about what they're sending. So what ClientPoint does is it helps you learn how to tell your story in your proposal, and it automates it for you, plus gives you analytics so that you can see exactly what your prospects care about, and you get data on the content that you're sending in your proposal. So I'm going to share now exactly how to create a proposal with ClientPoint. And I'll make sure to share a lot of nerdy tidbits like that throughout this presentation. So here I am logged into ClientPoint, and let's say we're ready to create a proposal for a prospect right now. So I'm Ron, and I'm selling to XYZ company, and I'm ready to send a proposal. Exciting. So as Ron, I'm going to click on New Proposal. And you can start in your CRM, or you can start in ClientPoint as standalone. And now what it's doing is it's asking me to type in the prospect's name. So this is XYZ company. You said thousands of dollars. What is the average transaction value of the people in Bot Academy? Is it like a $3,000
setup? And then I don't know if you can do this within software, but we also ask them to charge the monthly fee or to ask for it upfront when they're signing up a client.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. So we're just going to call this Jane Smith. And this all could come in automatically from your CRM if you wanted to integrate your CRM like HubSpot or Salesforce or Zoho or Dynamics. We integrate with CRMs on a regular basis. So you can fill in all this information once, and this will auto-populate in all of your proposal information. So I'll just click Save. I'm not going to fill it all out. Now we're going to be determining how we want our prospect to be able to behave on our proposal. So yes, comments. Yes, I want to prompt them for the email because I want to be able to track exactly who's going into the proposal. Yeah, I'd like them to be able to upload documentation if they would like to. I'm going to turn off download and print. You know, one of the objections that people bring up occasionally when they're looking at proposal software is they say, well, I like to do things in person and hand things out. Well, you can do that here with ClientPoint, but I recommend turning it off because we want people to do it all digitally so we can track everything that they're doing and follow up more appropriately. I'm going to leave e-signature turned on. And now I'm going to click Save and Continue. You'll see like password protection for Microsoft Word tracking. We have some really advanced enterprise features that, you know, for legal teams, we can do some really cool things with them, but I'm not going to get into that here. But just know that we have a really robust enterprise solution. So if anyone ever is talking to a really big company, we can do amazing things for large organizations. In fact, ClientPoint started off, it's kind of interesting, the origin story 10 years ago, and it started off internally to a facility services company and a security company here in Southern California. And they started this because their sales team were taking way too long with creating proposals, and they were starting to get big competitors like Securitas coming into Southern California, taking over their business. So ClientPoint was originally created just to try to offset some of these big 800-pound gorillas coming into their territory. And it offset it so well and created such a crazy advantage that Securitas is now a client of ClientPoint's. So this really great storytelling software offset some major 800-pound gorillas to the point that they became clients, and it helped sales teams create proposals in 80% less time on average. So here I am in the proposal builder. So on the left part of the screen, this is a blank proposal. And on the right, you've got the content library. The content library, you can upload. It's very intuitive, easy to do. And this allows you to pull content into a proposal either one by one, or you can use pre-built templates that you know convert for a particular ideal client demographic.
Could you guys create templates for us to start off with?
Yeah, we can create templates for you. We do a pretty good white glove service if you would like, and we actually can advise you on what should be
Would
included
you
in
have
your
any
template.
in the library already? Could I see some templates that I could build on?
I'm going to show you this. This is actually a template right here that I'm about to demo for you.
Okay.
And this is a bundle of content that will come in. So let's say you're selling to a certain vertical. You might have XYZ vertical template, and you would double click this. And then on the left, just watch carefully over here. It's going to populate another screen, but I'll pull it over and you can see all the content that just came in. So I double click. And this is a template full of, I think, like maybe 15 pieces of content. So if I pull over, you can see in the left-hand part of the screen where it had a blank proposal. There's a ton of content there now. And it's taking me through an easy proposal builder. So right now it's taking me into a cover letter, and it's making sure, okay, Jane Smith is the appropriate name. Okay, this is great. This is the address. I can customize the first paragraph. If I want to preview it now, I can show you, here's all the automation. These are all merge tags. So you can create a really nice custom looking cover letter in seconds using merge tags. So I'm going to click submit. And now it's going to take me into the contract portion so I can build a contract easily. So I pulled in Jane Smith's information. If I typed in all the address and all of that, that would be here as well. So if I want to do a setup fee of $5,000, do that. And this particular demo has a user. We'll just say we're going to build 6 bots for you at $95 per bot per month. And we want to charge you on an annual upfront basis. Okay, cool. There we go. So that total is $68.40 for the bots, $5,000 for the setup fee. We're going to submit this. This next screen is just to share with you that we can put widgets and products in here as well. If you wanted to add actual products and not just services, you can throw in products and line items. But I don't want to bore you with all of that, so I'm going to delete this down.
And the way that might work is we might offer them software that we're charging, like we were just talking to a maker of software that would allow us to white label it and so on. Okay. By the way, is anyone having trouble seeing his screen? I see Bernard is okay. Everyone else, Vic. So Bernard, try refreshing if you're on a mobile phone. That should do it. I can see the screen. No issues here. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Glenn.
And our UI is actually currently getting reworked. So by the time you folks get into the trial, it'll be actually a little different looking.
Oh, they're going to get into it right now, right? By the end of the session, we're going to let them get it. But you're saying that it will within this trial period, within this free.
Yeah, we'll have a totally new looking UI. So what we did here, this is really cool. We created a proposal that has a lot of content in it. And I was talking, but really it took me maybe, of actual working time, maybe like 20 to 30 seconds. And now if I preview what we just created, well, first of all, I'll share with you that we put in a custom message from our CEO. This is a video. We put in a cover letter. Now we've got a sales deck from PowerPoint or PDF. We've got some demo videos here. We've got some case studies and testimonials. We've got an ROI calculator. Then we've got the order form. And I'm going to take this piece out, the sample tools. And we did all that in just seconds. And a lot of times what happens with sales is they're sitting there, and if you're not using software to create your proposals, it's really an anxiety-inducing experience because you're sitting there going, like, did I really clear out the old customer's data from this Word form? And am I sending it in the right PDF? Did I have the right version? It can be really stressful. And then you're dealing with the anxiety of just, your own resistance as it is. So it's much better to have automation, and especially automation that tells a story. So this particular proposal isn't just a transactional document. It's an extension of the sales process.
Let me see if I understand this. I think I won't fully get it until I see the finished product and then come back and understand how you put it together. But this is a proposal to close a sale. We've talked to the client at this point, and we want them to buy from us. But we know that we need to give them some information. Obviously, the pricing is one thing that we want to give them, but we also want to show them case studies and show them videos. These come from us. We put it into ClientPoint, and then from there, ClientPoint's going to package it up for the client, right?
Correct.
Okay, great. Yep. And so what you're about to do is now record a video on your webcam. Go ahead, you'll do it.
Yeah, you just say, hey, thank you so much, XYZ company. Feel free to share this proposal with your CFO. I know, Sally was interested in taking a look at this as well. You'll see some case studies in here and an ROI calculator that I know your CFO will love. You can feel free to e-sign this document at your earliest convenience, and we look forward to working with you very soon.
Got it. Okay, super. So I can see that that little bit of personal touch goes a long way. I'm surprised that it does, but it does. Like one of the things that I discovered is when we have new advertisers on my podcast, Mixergy, if I shoot a video for them that's a personal video, whoever's making the buying decision takes the video and then they share it in Slack with the whole team to kind of make the whole team feel good about their decision to advertise with us. And then later when they go back to that person who's in charge, they say, well, the ROI is not exactly what we thought it would be, but we're getting close. We think we should give Andrew a shot. They're more likely to say, yes, let's give Andrew a shot because they have some connection to me. It's so weird. It's a video, but it's just super easy. Like it took you under 30 seconds to record.
Yeah, and the impact, as you stated, I mean, it's amazing. We get to see a lot of data on proposals. We have Fortune 100 clients. We have thousands of users all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put videos in your proposals, you're going to have a much higher conversion rate alone. The other thing that I've noticed with video, just working with ClientPoint personally, is if I create a really nice cover letter, they won't read it. They'll look at it for 10 seconds, but they'll watch the whole 1-minute video. So
really? And you've got data on that?
Yeah.
Wow.
So sometimes we painstakingly will type this intense email or write this intense proposal, and then they'll scan it. Like you've heard people scanning resumes, right? And when somebody's making a buying decision, it's like making a hiring decision, and they're just sitting there transactionally looking at the content. But you throw a video on there, and now they're captivated.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share with you an example of what the proposal looks like. So
let's see it.
Doing it now. So we'll send this out as a link, and this is the buyer's experience. So the very first thing you're going to see is a video from me.
On your webcam. Go ahead, you'll do it.
Yeah, so you're going to say, hey, thank you so much, XYZ company. And you've already seen that, so I don't want to share it again.
So the first thing they see is a welcome video that looks like it, and it is actually customized to them from you. Got it.
Exactly. Yeah, and that goes a really, really long way, especially at the proposal stage. The relationship goes from relational to transactional, and it's really awkward. So you go from, hey, high five, and really looking forward to working with you, and here, sign this black and white document. And it's that transition is a little sticky for a lot of salespeople. So you throw a relational element into the transactional stage, it goes a really long way for your brand. So then we'll scroll and we'll see a message from our ClientPoint CEO.
Hi, my name is Andy.
Just throwing more goodwill into this conversation. And another data point, I know if you're into bots, you're into data, is a lot of times we've seen when people are saying that they're ready to sign a proposal, they're often not. And one of the two reasons we know this is because the conversion rate at that final stage, when verbal to proceed, only 60% on average of deals from a yes, I'm ready to do this actually close. So we know for sure in the marketplace there's a gap. But number two is we see people consume a lot of content when you put it into a proposal, even when they said, yeah, just send me the contract, I'm ready to sign it. So what that means is prospects often are still feeling that little bit of anxiety, even when you don't think they are, and they need more storytelling. What was that?
Ben agrees. Ben agrees. I was just saying, you're right. You're right. You know what? I've done that too. I'm ready to sign, but there's something that I just want to make sure that I fully understand. There's something that I want to, I don't know what, roll through. Okay. And so you're seeing that because it's all on this site. Let's continue. Now this is my personal thing. I don't think I would want another video after the one intro. I think my sense, it would probably be me, since I'm the one running the company, sending a personal video and then having it go through. Okay. And then you've got the message from the CEO and you've got the cover letter. This is the letter that explains what's going on and thanks them, et cetera. Okay.
You've got a slide deck, and we're just telling our story again. The other thing that's happening at the proposal stage, here's just some additional demo videos. One of the things that happens at the proposal stage is the contract is being shared with decision makers that you didn't know existed prior to this. And they're not seeing the storytelling. And sometimes, like I mentioned in that video that I created, that little personalized mock-up, is this is going to a CFO possibly. And we want the presentation to be able to tell a story so that everyone feels comfortable. And they're not just counting on whoever. You don't want to count on somebody internally to that company to tell your full story to a high-level decision maker that's not in the room with you ever. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Here we have a testimonial video. Testimonial videos are really powerful.
Hi, Matt.
To just people, seeing massive results with ClientPoint. Case studies. This might be a little overkill, but I'm just sharing with you. If you want to tell a really thorough story, that's great. We even put an ROI calculator on here. So if you want somebody to
ROI calculator, I find that people like it because we're so jittery. But you have to download the ROI calculator. It's not within the.
populate automatically through a Google Sheet, which sometimes I like, but sometimes CFOs really like Excel, so they can download it with Excel. We can populate it automatically in the viewer, but sometimes it looks a little funky. I didn't load the right one. Normally it exists within here, but to manipulate it, if it's not a Google Sheet, you actually have to download it.
Okay.
And having an ROI calculator for anyone, I know, Andrew, you mentioned earlier, just people feeling that kind of sales resistance. An ROI calculator, I found whenever somebody gets one built for them, a lot of times that sales anxiety goes away really fast because they're so excited to be able to have that confidence and share that ROI calculator with their prospects.
Yeah, I found that we used to have it on our sales page even when we were selling digital products online. And I found that people were just playing with the slider. It gave them some visual to understand. We might even still have it now. Give them a visual that helped them see a return and help them think through the numbers better. It's so helpful that when I teach people how to get clients for chatbots, I walk them through setting up the spreadsheet because I've seen people pay more attention to it. I get it. Okay. So you're walking through this whole thing.
Yeah, so now the prospect has an opportunity. If this was a live proposal ready for them that's not in preview mode, they're going to get a green approve button up here, and they can go ahead and e-sign it online. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. So we've created in 30 seconds a very thorough proposal. We've got a custom video. We've got an automated cover letter that came in that looks really nice. We've got some case studies, some testimonials. This is really a full boat. This is probably a little bit too much, but I just want to share with you all the different content that you can upload. You can even put their videos from YouTube into the proposal. Sometimes that's kind of cool for them to see their own branding, or even the website in here. There are a lot of different creative things.
By the way, you see me smiling and doing something? Here's why. I constantly want to check in on what you're telling my people, what's going on. I typed in methodically every letter of the URL that you have on your screen. I kept squinting and grabbing it, and I grabbed it and I went and I finally got it to work. And then it said, enter your email address. And since I didn't have an email address that was authorized to look at this, I couldn't see the proposal.
Yeah, so actually there's two reasons for that. It hasn't created the outward-facing proposal. So this is the internal ClientPoint code. If I want to create the outward-facing proposal, I like what you're doing.
So this is you just checking to see what you're sending clients before you send it out.
Yeah, so this is the outward-facing proposal. And this can be viewed, you can send this up, excuse me, hang on. My copy and paste didn't work very well. Okay, so this is the outward-facing right here.
Got it.
So if I go incognito, you'll be able to see exactly what's going to happen for the prospect. All right, so just type in an email. And then you'll see the experience is very similar to what I shared with you before in the preview, except we've got the green approve button and we've got comments are enabled now. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. And why do they want comments within it?
It's just so they, you mentioned the importance of being able to chat in the right context where people are more comfortable chatting. So this is a great place. Somebody doesn't have to hop on email. They don't have to call you. They can just chat conveniently wherever they are online, right?
Question, like they might say, I just read this client case study. Is this business like ours? Is this the business that you were telling me on the phone? That type of thing.
Yeah, or legal. Okay. Hey, we've got a quick question on this. What does this really mean? That kind of thing.
Okay. And can we see how pricing shows up and how the sales process happens within this?
Yep, let me get back to it. Just a moment.
I just realized I forgot to hit mute while I was inhaling deeply on this mic.
I didn't hear you.
I hit mute constantly to avoid random sounds coming up on the mic.
Go on your webcam. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So we just click approve. Actually, I'm going to go all the way to the actual contract. Where is the contract? Order form. Here we go. So here we can see how it's showing up. And I'm going to click the approve button. Prepare document for signature. This is powered by Write Signature. You can do all this on mobile as well.
So the way it works is you get them to sign the contract and then the payment happens afterwards.
Yeah, but you can put the credit card in right here.
Ah, got it. Okay. So it's within there automatically. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. And then you sign it, and you're good to go.
Okay.
So that's the customer facing side of ClientPoint, which is really important. And again, what we're trying to do is help you tell your story at the critical stage. Two big reasons again is the first one is people aren't completely sold a lot of times, even when they say they are. The second big reason is you've got other stakeholders that hop into the proposal that we often don't even know exist that need to hear the story as well.
Yeah.
So now I can go into the Manage Center if I want to take a look at the analytics of any proposals that are out there. We also have a dashboard that shares trends of what's happening within our company based on the proposals. So I'm going to click the Manage Center now. And this is part demo account, part something I've been doing some live things with. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at something that is actually real for me that I'm curious what happened. So I used ClientPoint to book a meeting with this company and they viewed it. I just want to see what they took a look at. So I'm going to go ahead and click Analytics. I want to see, okay, so they viewed 2 files. They spent 1 minute on it and I can see exactly what they spent their time on. Well, you know, they watched the intro video, they got into the slide deck. Cool. That's about all I wanted them to do to land the first meeting. Some people will go really thoroughly and look at a lot of things before the first meeting. Some people will just look at your intro video and a little piece of content and go, okay, I've seen enough. I want to meet this person. So now I know going into this meeting that I'm going to have next Monday, is I know, okay, at least they know who I am. So it's not a complete blind date for them. And they've seen enough from me and from the referral and from the slide deck that they felt comfortable at least sticking to the meeting.
So you're saying they will schedule a meet. So this, I'm trying to think of where we are in a sales process. This is to get the original sales meeting or to close after?
I didn't use this ClientPoint in this instance to try to close a sale. I'm trying to actually close the very first engagement and get them to show up to a meeting.
Got it. So you're saying that a lot of times when you ask somebody to come to a meeting, A, they don't want to do it. And B, if they say yes, they don't show up because they don't have enough incentive and they have what you call, what was it? The remorse.
Meeting remorse.
Meeting remorse. You're kind of playing off the phrase buyer's remorse, where after we buy something expensive, we feel remorse. Did I make the right decision? Did I not? Right. And so you're saying if they, to get them to the meeting, we send this over, and to get them to say yes to the meeting, we send this, and then to get them to stick with the meeting, we send this.
Yeah. Yep. So here this is prior to the very first meeting with this person ever. I sent a personalized video. I sent a YouTube video of me talking about blind dating and sales. I've got a Calendly link so they can book with me conveniently at their own time and pace.
Yep.
So here's Calendly, it was loading. So that's kind of cool. I've got a case study. And then I have a couple more videos, the neuroscience of sales, just so they can continue to feel more comfortable with us as thought leaders. This helps you book the first meeting with a much higher conversion rate. You've probably heard sending personalized videos. When I first started using videos with my leads, I noticed even dead leads, people that you just think they're bad. I emailed them multiple times. I called them multiple times. I send them a video once, and I'm noticing people actually booking with me. So videos to actually land the first meeting and letting people know what to expect on the first meeting, knowing that you actually will help them, will help eliminate that meeting remorse to even do that first demo with you.
So let's suppose that I were to find a potential customer, like maybe it's you. I say, you know what? I think ClientPoint could actually use chatbots. What I might do is, instead of sending you an email saying, would you like to get a free consultation with me where I'll do a free demo about how you can use chatbots at ClientPoint, it might be better if I say, I think you can use this because I know that you guys are building up your marketing team. I created this proposal for you to show you what I can offer you for free on our next call. You click the link, and I know you've clicked the link. And as soon as you do click the link, the video comes on and is from me. It's Andrew saying, I really want to show you how ClientPoint can use this. I've been looking at your site and I know that you guys have already done this and that, right? And then I have a link to information about why chat is so big, or articles that I'm including in here, and then a Calendly link where they could book with me. And if you click over to the Calendly link, will I know that you've clicked over?
Yes, you'll get analytics on the whole thing.
Got it. So I can see you clicked over, but you didn't book with me, and I might come back and say, hey, you know what? Let's just keep it simple. I'm around all day today. You free?
Exactly. Yeah, and you'll also get a text message or an email the second your prospect opens up your link and gets into this viewer.
Perfect. Because
And
what do you see people being able to do with that? If I get an alert saying that a client that I've either not talked to yet or has talked to has opened up my proposal, what do I do with that?
what better time to give them a call? Because you know they're available, you've got their attention, giving them a call right then and there is really powerful.
Perfect. Yep, that's what I thought maybe there's another thing to do with it. That's what I've seen work well on me, except I don't pick up calls unless I've had the person in my phone book before, and then Siri's really good at, or in my email, Siri's really good about taking their name and putting it in the it might be whoever.
Or you
Yeah.
can send them an email right then and there. So after they view your content, whether they booked or not, you can have a quick follow-up email. I mean, just the more data you have, the better. I know your community is creative enough to probably come up with even smarter things than I can come up with as far as what to do with that data. Maybe put some automation behind it. But it's really good to know.
I've seen. I had this this maker of TK who makes the Tout app, or he did before he sold it to, I think it was Marketo. He came over to my house and he said, "Look, I went over and I watched all these top salespeople. I wanted to see how they work." And he said they have nothing but what he created in his software for salespeople was just this running dashboard of who is opening up their messages so they could just get on calls with them right away. And he said it's that powerful to contact someone while they're engaged with what you sent them, that all they would do is keep this little thing on their screen to let them know. And you're saying they don't need anything on their screen. We could just have a text message that pops up that says they're opening your message. Go jump on it.
Correct.
Great.
Yeah. And you get really deep in analytics. We can see down to the second, we can see reports, we can see their IP address. We know exactly what's going on with who's viewing that particular piece of content.
Okay.
You can text it to someone, you can send it on a LinkedIn message. And that's kind of nice. You're not stuck sending a bunch of attachments that don't go through. And sometimes PowerPoint just doesn't get, a lot of reasons to send a link versus an attachment. There was one more point I wanted to make. I guess it wasn't that important. So I'm going to go to one more place, and that's the dashboard. Oh yeah, I was actually going to go as far as to say, depending on how targeted you want to be, I don't know what you teach, if it's if you're trying to communicate and prospect at scale, or if you got targeted accounts. But if I'm Ron and I'm really wanting to land this company, I might go as far as to do a screen record and go to their website and say, hey, right here would be a great place to put a bot. This right here would be a great place to put a bot. And you're actually doing a little bit of an audit of their online presence in front of them with a screen record. And you can throw
100%.
that.
Yeah, I've seen that really well done. The founder of Right Message, software for marketing tools, did that with me, and I couldn't help but go through and see it. And he showed me what I was doing that was stupid, and I totally understood it. Yeah, 100%. I think it's a no-brainer to do that. Can I embed Loom is what we often use for that. Can we embed a Loom video in this?
Yes, as long as it's an MP4 export, or I forget all the different export file types, but yeah, you can upload any type of video. You can upload a YouTube video, or whatever it is.
I actually use Loom and I use ScreenFlow. And frankly, if you're on a Mac, the QuickTime player that comes with the Mac automatically allows you to record your screen. It is so effective to show somebody their thing. Look at how Ron in the chat just said, he said, I saw you smile. I thought Ron said that he smiled when we mentioned his name. When you mention somebody's name, when you mention their website, when you show it to them, they do feel a sense of, all right, I'm cared about, a sense of being cared about. Absolutely.
You're kind of using a psychological trick as well, where you know how whenever you show somebody a picture of them in a group of people, like where do the eyes go first?
Yeah, just to them, right?
When you show somebody their own content, their own online presence, they're like, what are you doing? Like, I'm curious.
Imagine this. I haven't tested this yet, so I can't say if this would work. Imagine if we send a message out to, let's pick somebody else, to Ben. Imagine if it's a message to Ben that says, I noticed you're making this mistake on your website. I shot a video to show you how you can fix it. And then they click into the proposal and they see Ben saying, they see me saying, Ben, here's your site. I think you're doing this great. I can see you're really fantastic at capturing email addresses. The big mistake is you're only capturing email and people communicate via chat. I want to show you how I could make this work via chat. If you click on the next tab, you can see my video showing you how chat would work. And then if you want, I could set this up for you for free on a call. We can do a quick demo and I can show you how you can get this going. And now you've really got them hooked in with their problem, patting them on the back for getting the marketing right everywhere else. And then you link over to a video that you always have. In fact, I could even give it to you that shows here's how chatbots work. They do it. Boom. This is great. Okay. Fantastic. So a little personalization, a lot of depth.
Awesome. Totally good. So we've got some trend reports. If somebody's really interested in seeing it, these are all kind of dummy analytics, but you can see based on division or region or for deal type. You can do all sorts of reports. You've got pipeline reports. You've got deal status, pie charts. You can go really deep into reporting. Something I haven't mentioned is that ClientPoint, although it's not as relevant to the audience for them being users of ClientPoint, but maybe to some of your potential clients as a reseller of ClientPoint, is we can do very in-depth custom configuration of proposals. So I'll give you an example. I've got a big medical device company that we're working with right now, and they have all these if, and, or rules with their proposals, with buyback programs and
yeah.
leases and just warranty, all sorts of buying groups. And it's a very complex, crazy process to the extent that they had a whole proposal team, and we're automating all of that for them. So now the salespeople can easily create a proposal in just a couple of minutes. They don't need a whole team to do that anymore. So anyway, I just want to share that with your group as well.
That makes sense. I don't think that's going to work for us. I don't think we have such a complicated buying decision, but it makes sense that it helps that there's a way to do that. I have seen in certain industries, you do want to customize the proposal based on what they're getting, how many seats, et cetera.
Yeah. Well, just for basic awareness. So I wanted to share just that we have some great activity and trend reporting. That's really the extent of the demo as far as
reporting.
So trend reporting you can choose by category. You can get really custom by person. So you can see their proposals, how many proposals they're sending out, or the dollar amount of the proposals they're sending out, the status of their proposals. So if you've got a sales team, this is more for an enterprise organization, you can get a pretty good idea based on the activity that folks are doing, dollar amount of what they're doing, what's going to happen in the following quarter.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so this is a little bit more for somebody who's got a sales organization. At this point, you've probably got a sales manager or a sales director working for you, and these are reports that you want as a
yeah. Yeah, I think for us, what we're looking at is 1 or 2 people sending out messages. It is helpful, though, if I can keep track of how people are doing. So, Yami, I haven't even chatted with you or Sam. If the 3 of us decided to get together in business and create an agency, I might want to know, is Yami pulling his weight? Is Sam pulling his weight? Like, how are we really doing here? Are they sending out enough offers, or is it just me? That's really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just playing around, looking around the software. So that's really the extent of which I wanted to get into ClientPoint today. Any other questions, Andrew?
Yeah, there are a couple of questions that came up as we were doing this. One came in from Jamie saying, "Can we do PayPal for payments within this?" What do we do for
We do not
payments?
have PayPal. We're not integrated with a payment solution, but you can throw in the PayPal link, the order link, into your proposal. So if you've just got the invoice or the link payable, you can just throw that in as one of your experiences that's built into the viewer.
Can I do it after somebody signs the contract, then take them into PayPal?
Yes. Yep. They can sign the contract and you can populate a PayPal link.
Got it. Okay, and that means that I could also do it using Stripe or my own credit card processor. Got it. But and this is how it tends to work in bigger companies. I'm actually going to tell you guys that if you're charging $5,000, you might not even want to do a credit card payment. I thought it was. We used to do credit card payments for expensive services because I come from an online world where you sell things for $20 a month and you're happy to get that from a lot of people. But once you get into the thousands of dollars, credit card processing fees starts to really add up. And it also creates an unprofessional experience, like where somebody has to go and use a credit card. What we have found is the bigger the expense, the more likely you are to go to ACH. And that the money just comes from their bank account into yours. You do want to get them to sign the agreement that says that you can do it, and then you go into your account and you do that. And we do that. Our big advertisers that started with a few $1,000s and are now in the hundreds, they're not sending me a credit card. I don't want to pay thousands of dollars in credit card processing fees. What I do want is to just sign that agreement and just be done. Okay, so that's a good question coming in. Guys, keep those questions coming in. Let me see what else is coming on. Thrivecart has embeddable payment forms. Yeah, you know what? If you decide that what you're going to do is do credit card on the site, whether it's Stripe or anything else, you can absolutely just embed it. Wow, it's so weird that we can actually see your screen with what's coming up. Oh. Can I embed iframes is a question that came from Stuart. That's a good question because if you're going to do an iframe, you could do anything.
Yep.
They can. So
It has
anything
to
that's on your
be
site.
HTTPS, so it has to be a secure iframe. You can embed those.
Great. What are you seeing for iframes? How are people using that?
Not the best person to answer that question. People are doing creative things. I don't know.
So iframes, of course, are just the ability to frame any web page and put it in there in a site.
Yeah.
That means
Like,
that, frankly,
really cool, beautiful design that people are doing using iframes. I just haven't seen it yet.
I think that Loom, for example, will let you do an embed, and so you can use an iframe for that. Okay. Oh, Ron is saying, I appreciate the psychology and the case study behind this. Great. Okay. Oh, Ben is saying, right. Good point for Ben, saying, and just bringing up subscriptions. We are getting their credit card for subscription, but it's on us to set up the subscription within our system, right? Or if it's Stripe, it's on us to send them to a Stripe form or whatever you guys are using to also include subscription. So it's one-time fee plus subscription built in.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And we're working on integrated native payment solutions, so the native Stripe integration, all of that. But right now, you've got to do the iframe or the after the fact.
I do think it would help if it was built in. I still don't love using credit cards for bigger purchases. Yeah, maybe 2, 3.
You see your actual net, if you're watching the numbers, it's always a little. I just feel a little deflated. I'm like, but I could have got that much more. And it's just weird.
Yeah,
weird.
Absolutely. It stinks when it's on those bigger expenses. Plus, businesses are just already prepared. You have to go and get authorization for a credit card, just like you have to go and get authorization for an ACH. They're just prepared to do it. Boom, and you're done. Okay, let's see. Is there a chat option when they have a question? Yeah, good question from Ron. If someone has a question, we're talking about the comments.
So the person will be emailed immediately when somebody makes a comment. So it's up to them to be monitoring their email and jump in.
Okay. I might actually set that. Huh?
That's a good question.
I would probably want to set that to come into a text message so I can jump in while they're there.
Yeah, you can do email or text.
Oh, good. Okay, good. So you could ping me a text with what they said. I want to know if someone's going through my proposal right now and they have a question, I need to respond right away. Bernard said, thank you for reminding me. There were a couple of questions about languages. What languages are available for this?
Oh, a lot. Let's go back to, you've got Japanese, you've got Spanish, you've got, let me look here. Yeah, we have an international user base. So I'm going to go into a new proposal. Let me just see if I can find the list really quickly. Here we go. Dutch, Japanese, Italian, French, Spanish, and English right now.
How long have you got? Oh, why would you want to disable GDPR? I've seen a couple of people ask that.
To be GDPR compliant, there's a notification when they type in their email address that it lets them know there's something about analytics taking place. And if I'm sending it to somebody in the US, I just would rather them not have to bother with it.
Okay. Great. How long have you guys been around?
10 years.
And you were starting to say how the company was founded.
Yeah, so the company was founded and they built the business via trade shows for a number of years. And then about almost 24 months ago, they got a small VC seed round from a venture studio called Simplexity. Then they brought on a new CEO. They brought me on as head of sales and marketing. And then we've continued to raise another 1.2 million. We'll continue to raise more. And our UI is changing, our integrations are changing, things are getting even bigger. So we're just now getting into the growth stage of the business. For the past 10 years, they've just serviced these really great enterprise clients and grown fairly organically. But now we're doing the actual venture-backed growth path.
Bernard was asking about pre-made text and proposals. Yeah, let's talk about that. Do you guys offer proposal templates that we can build off of?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Can we take a look at one of those?
They are not in this particular version of ClientPoint, but I can send everyone a link to something where they can see it.
Okay. All right. Speaking of, we're making people an offer that they can go and use this software for free right now. I've got a URL up on my screen and we're going to give it out right now. Where is that URL? There it is. It's botacademy.com/clientpoint trial. Botacademy.com/clientpoint trial. I'm going to put that in here, right here. I actually don't love that we use the word trial in the URL. We should probably just have it be botacademy.com/ClientPoint or free. The trial kind of makes it feel like it's smaller than it is. What are we offering people here? I clicked on the link before we got started and I just wasn't clear on
It's
what's coming up.
not, so it's not live today because we've got a brand new version of ClientPoint that we're releasing in September. So we've got everyone on the launch list that wants to register today for a free version of ClientPoint coming out in September.
So they're signing up now, but it's going to be a month or two before they get it.
Unfortunately. Yeah, because we want to give your audience access. They'll be the very first users of our free program. Because we've been an enterprise solution, we haven't really focused a lot on the free trial element of ClientPoint, but we're now getting there and it'll be done very soon. But in the meantime, we'll send everyone who registers. I know some of the psychology elements were interesting to some of the folks on the chat today. So they'll be getting a bunch of sales training from me, communications training, and they'll be able to be on the free version of ClientPoint come early September.
Okay, and do you know what's going to be in the free trial version, and then what the price will be after?
I don't know what the price will be, but what they'll be able to do is almost everything that we've seen on the call today. I'm not involved in the day-to-day of the free trial program, so I can't speak to exactly what's going to be in there, but they'll be able to upload proposals and sign them and get the analytics just like and get them signed, integrate multiple different types of payment options, just like what they saw today, everyone in your audience.
Okay, all right. For how long?
It'll be a free version of ClientPoint, so it'll be a permanent ability to do that.
Oh, really? So once they sign up, if they go in there right now, they're going to get this free version permanently. And if they want more features,
and get more of a team view. It'll be similar to like Dropbox. You know how you've got like a free version of Dropbox, and then if you want to upgrade to an enterprise product, you can do that. That's where ClientPoint is going.
Got it. All right. I'm with you on that. All right. So the URL is Bot Academy, and it's in the chat. If you're watching us live, you can see it in the chat. If you're not, I'm going to read it out to you. And actually, probably if you're not, we'll have a link on the page somewhere for you too. But it's botacademy.com/ClientPoint trial. By the way, Megan is so quick. She just pinged me with a text message saying, all right, got you on the URL. We can definitely fix that for next time. So next time we will have shorter URLs. For now, it is botacademy.com/ClientPoint trial. You got nothing to lose. What do you care? Just go put in your contact information into that form right now. And as soon as you do here, let me make sure that I do this. Andrew, why do you need my phone number for this?
Is it required? I don't know that it's required.
Oh, maybe what it is that like enterprise people do like the phone number as like a way of reaching me. I'm going to type it in without, no, not even. Boom. I hit it. I hit the congratulations page. Oh, and what's this? Get started with Sales Accelerator today. What's that? Event. Ah, got it. Okay. And if I want, I can use the Sales Accelerator training to learn how to close more sales.
Exactly.
Okay. But since my name and email address are in there, then in September, when you guys launch a new version, I'm going to get the free version of the new version that I can use permanently. I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to seeing what the new version of the product looks like. Congratulations on building it.
Me too. Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks for being here. Well, before we go, any final questions here? I don't think so. I think I answered everything. We went into all of them. Now I'm learning something about this easy webinar. The weird thing is that you have to show your screen, showing your screen if you want to see my video. See the chat.
I wanted to be in the chat more. Just signed up. Thank you, Kim. And Kim, we're going to get you a bunch of great content from me. I've been filming a lot of I like them videos that teach about a lot of the concepts that I talked about today, psychology, technology, how to leverage technology throughout your sales process. So you'll be seeing that in the meantime. And Andrew, it's really nice to meet you. We have similar circles. I've worked with some people that you've worked with, so it's really nice to finally meet you. Oh, I lost you.
That's my cheat. I make so much noise. I can't just sit still. So I hit mute in between. Anyone that I know? Anyone that you can bring up?
Sachin.
Yeah, Sachin Gupta. He's the one who sells our advertising.
Very smart guy. Do you know Srini Rao from Unmistakable Creative?
Yes, he and I were just talking about Srini.
Yeah. So if you ever hear him talk about his business partner, Brian, I'm his business partner, Brian.
Oh, really? An Unmistakable Creative?
Yep, exactly.
It's a podcast, right?
Yeah.
And what are you guys doing over there?
A lot. He actually just got some support, some funding.
Okay.
Anyway, so I helped him grow his business. We grew the email list, we grew the podcast, and I've been on the show a few times, but still just doing the basic show, hour-long format, long format. We'll do some more animated series. I'm not as involved in the day-to-day. I helped him out for about 3 years, and we grew quite a bit. I'm still involved in the company as a kind of shareholder partner, but I'm not in the day-to-day. But it's been a lot of fun getting into the podcast world. And Satya was telling me about Mixergy a couple of years ago. Like, he was doing crazy, awesome results for you with your advertising.
I'll be open with it. We were doing something like Ron registered. Booyah. Way to go, Ron. Robert signed up. Jamie saying accelerator training is expensive. Cool. You don't have to sign up for that. We are giving you the software for free. If you want to upgrade to something else, go for it. If not, totally fine. I'll tell you, I'm telling you, I came from the mindset of just charge a few bucks to a lot of people. And I think in many ways that makes a lot of sense. But when it came to my advertising, what I was doing was charging $600. I thought that's a lot of money for my sponsorship. It was awful. Yeah. I increased it, I think, to a couple of $1,000, but that was as high as I went. What Satya said to me was, he said, Andrew, if I could get you clients, if I can get you sponsors that are paying more than that, would you be interested? And I said, yeah, because I get his sensibility. He gets mine. I want to work with people that I'm proud to have on and not, offer some. I'll tell you, my past business, when we were really like trying to find advertisers, I went for these people who I'm not proud that I did any business with. I think they ruined our reputation to even have been with them. These people who are like, we're going nuts trying to reach you was their message that they use our list to get out there. And it was nuts trying to reach you because we're trying to offer you this free something or other. And they paid a lot, so I went with it. But I thought, this is not something that I'm happy if anyone knows. So I've sold a
lot of podcast ads myself. It's a strange business, but it's really good. It's really lucrative. So the inventory.
He said it could be lucrative. And what he did was he said, Andrew, we're going to figure out companies that you could be proud of and that will pay more. And the smart thing that he did was he said, I'm going to go to somebody who's selling ads right now and selling expensive ads to see who is paying right now for expensive ads. And so he went to our mutual friend, Sam Parr, who was running a conference. And Sam said, oh, the people who spend the most money on conferences are people who are recruiters and law firms. Go after that. So he went after them. And it took a shift in mentality that took us a little time. Like, for example, we took credit cards on tens of thousands of dollars in sales. First of all, he took me from thousands to tens of thousands of dollars, which was nice for advertising. But we had to start thinking a little bit more maturely. Like, you don't collect credit cards for people who are spending tens of thousands of dollars. I don't even know that they have a company credit card necessarily that offers that. That's not the way it works. Switch to ACH, save a lot of money, and you also have you also have an easier, cleaner process for them. The other thing that he got me to understand was these bigger companies do often want an agreement. They need something to sign. I would look at these things that they would send us to sign. Somebody just sent me a freaking Word doc for a couple $100,000 in advertising, but they need something signed from me and they need something signed from them.
You need a record, yeah.
Right. And for me, there are a couple of things that I need to change. And it's critical for me. I forget what it was. Little things like about my reputation can't be damaged. They want to use my photo for some of the stuff that they're doing for ads, but I want to know what they're using my photo for. So that's important to me. I have to send them these comments back. These little things I wouldn't have thought of that matter. I would have laughed. In fact, not would have. I went to school as an entrepreneur laughing at big businesses for sending contracts to each other like this. Turns out they need it. They need a little contract. They need it. So fine, we incorporated that in. But once you talk their game, once you give them the things that they're looking for, they are really good to work with. They don't nickel and dime you the way smaller people who are spending $20. I can't stand it. I'm about to complain about this burrito that I got because it had $18 back for my burrito delivery. If I'm doing business with somebody who's on the higher level, like if I'm spending thousands of dollars with my friend Ethan Sigmund to have him buy ads, if he's a little bit off by a couple $100 or a couple $1,000, I said to him, Ethan, I think you might have gotten this wrong. No problem. It'll clear itself out, right?
Yeah.
Big clients, enterprise clients, you talk their game, they're way easier to deal with, way more money.
Yeah, it's actually easier. It's easier to sell to a big company.
They care about you more. And then when they they quit their job, they go to another company, they come back to you too because they're comfortable working with you because they know how you do it. But nobody talks about it. When you go to the startup space, they're all talking software, and now they're talking about how to be an influencer, right? How do you get to be a YouTuber? No one's talking about the fact that this enterprise customer, spending a few $1,000s, doesn't care about a few pennies saved. They will pay you to do stuff, but they do need a few things for themselves. Yeah, they want to see a proposal. We can laugh at it all day long. That's the way they do business. Fine, give them a freaking proposal. They want a contract. I laugh at it all the time. What do we need? Like a 2-word, like Microsoft Word pages? Yeah, fine, give it to them. And then what do they give you in return? They take good care of you. They don't complain, except if they complain, it's more substantive complaints. They don't complain about petty things like $18 burritos, which I'm going to complain about. And they keep
$18.
Yeah, because it's like $10 plus delivery fee plus whatever tipping thing, right? It's so I'm gonna go and complain about that. I'm way easier to deal with for work than I am in personal. I'll scrutinize an iOS app for 99 cents. Am I sure that I want to do it or not? Let me think about it. Let's see what competitors are out there. But for $100 a month for cloud storage on whatever, I'm like, all right, fine, let's just do it.
When it comes to business investments, I'm just like, go for it. But I'm different as a consumer.
Yeah. Totally. All right. So if you're listening to me, the reason I'm saying this to you is you are selling to bigger companies. You got to get yourself out of the mentality that we're in, right? We're smaller companies. We're SMBs ourselves. We're selling to bigger businesses. We have to get out of the mentality of why aren't they just figuring this out for themselves? They're not figuring it out for themselves because they're figuring out bigger stuff than how to do a chatbot, bigger stuff than how to handle marketing. But you have to figure out a couple of things for yourself with them. How do you send them a proposal? How do you get them a contract? How do you get their payment information in? And then how do you get comfortable knowing that you're going to charge them higher than you might pay, definitely more than you would pay for the same thing? And how do you make sure that you have an ongoing relationship so you can keep charging them monthly? And what we have found internally is if you sell it both at the same time, it helps. You don't want to sell, sign up and I'll set you up with the chatbot thing and then come back a month later and say, by the way, there's also this monthly component. Just offer it both. We charge $5,000 a month plus $1,000 every $5,000 setup plus $1,000 every month to maintain your chatbot.
Boom. Everything they buy is Salesforce. Like most at a bigger company level, everything they buy is setup fee plus a recurring revenue. I mean, that's like everything you're buying.
That's exactly it. And you want to put that directly into the agreement and give them what they're looking for and know whether they're looking at it or not. Right? I want to know, are they actually opening this up? Are they watching my video? Is the video too dorky? Are they doing this or are they not? All right. That's why I wanted to make sure that you guys got to see some client proposal software. What changed my perception of how this is done is when we got on here and you said, look, Andrew, this is not just for closing the sale. It's also for getting the initial meeting. I always thought the initial meeting could happen via email, but this is something I'd be willing to experiment with. Can we send a proposal to say, I will show you this on the meeting. If you're interested, get to the Calendly link and I will give this to you. That is kind of an interesting approach. It shows professionalism. It shows care. It shows that you put some effort into it. I want to see how many more meetings we get and then how many more meetings people show up with if we do that. And then the second half is when we're ready to close a sale that they said yes to, we want to send them a proposal that they can look at, share with people on the team, and then comment so that we can adjust whatever little things that they need in the agreement, and then finally get them to close a sale. The first time, if you're listening to me, Ron, have you sold a lot? Robert, what's like the biggest sale that you sold individually, guys? If you're listening to me, Kim, you've got a bunch of sales. What's the biggest that you've sold? Sorry, go ahead. What were you going to say? Brian, were you going to say something and I interrupted you?
Nope.
I don't even know what the largest number that I sold was. I'm gonna be open with you guys. I think the biggest, it was multi-million dollars. I was gonna say it was 700. It was 7,500. That was the biggest one for a long time. I kept a copy of that check, and then we went to millions of dollars. All right, Kim, 5-figure contract doesn't feel great. Not big. Rob, $2,000. I think that's great. Haven't broken into enterprise clients yet. Yeah, 2,000 is solid. Rob says need to though. Whoa, Jose, $350,000 cyber security contract.
Like it.
Wow. Way to go. Jose, what's one thing that would have surprised you years ago that went into closing a $350,000 contract? Kim, renewed annual since 2012. What do you mean by that? Oh, look at this, Ron. A $12,000 contract average plus naming a future naming a future child after me.
Andrew,
I know you got a Yep. Thanks so much for being on here. I actually saw the alert come on your screen. I should have been more respectful of that. Thanks so much for being on here, Brian. We're going to continue on. Thank you. I'll keep chatting here with people, and then we're going to go into the next session. Bye.
Thanks.